Welcome back to another installment of Married in First Sight. I've been skipping a few, so we're going to start at episode 9. Hit the like and subscribe button as the intro plays. Now, I've been skipping them because one, I've had a lot going on, and two, y'all not watching my videos. So I'm going to try this one more again. But we're on episode 9. We're going to start at episode 9. This is Two Truths and a Lie. So the episode starts out, and we don't get into all the details with, Derek and Megan, who were at each other's throats, but now have said, I love you. They are opening their intimacy package from Dr. Pia. Because, on this show, the main goal is for them to get intimate. They want that. They think that's going to add some drama, some excitement to the show. And the funny thing is, Megan and Derek, though they've been at odds most of the show, have been intimate, have been, in fact, raw dogging it, which is insane in the membrane to me.
Crazy, insane?
Insane? Crazy?
You just met him and you were raw dogging it and y'all been fighting. That's crazy. So then we see Belinda and Chad. Chad still love bombing Belinda. And Belinda's eating it up because Belinda has never done anything besides be a mom, it seems. Belinda just seems, and I hate to call Lady dumb, but she's just not that bright. She's not that exposed to things. She's from Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm from Texas. And, she's from a town outside of Corpus Christi, Texas. She didn't know whether the town was north, south, or east or west of Corpus Christi, which I find to be, every time she speaks is not the brightest to me. Although she gives some advice to her daughter, because not only does her daughter have the expert, she has her mother there, walking her through the process. And speaking of her daughter, Jalen and Chad, Jalen is stuck on the fact that Jalen and Josh, that Josh told her a lie. They were talking about, did you unfollow your ex? And he instantly said no, which is like, at this point, why do you even need to lie?
It's not.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
You don't need to lie. You don't have to lie about that, Josh. But he said he did it out of fear. Like, he did it quickly. He was scared. But so that in Jalen's mind says, well, that's a small lie. So that means a small lie will create a bigger lie, which could be true. And why don't you just tell her the truth? But Jalen is really upset about, she's been lying about how she's open to going to Burning Man. I never heard the term Burning Man so much in an hour. Burning Man is going to destroy this marriage. And I'm thinking, why? Because Josh wants her to go to Burning Man. He wants to share that experience with him at Burning Man, but she doesn't want to go to Burning Man. She's not into camping. Jalen is a little bit closed off, and I could see why, because, her mom's underexposed. So, but, there are a lot of people who aren't outdoorsy people. I really can't technically imagine being outside in a tent for a week in the desert, but I'm not saying I'm close to it. I might say I'm good for it, but let's just have a hotel on standby just in case I have to run.
What? I'm gonna miss you, girl.
That's all you gotta do, Jalen. Just, play the game a little bit. But she's so young and 27, and both of them are just like, I just don't get why this could make or break your relationship. You can have passions that aren't the same. That it should not be the only thing that bonds you. And why is Burning Man the only way that you know how to express yourself, Josh? Like, Burning Man, you're just going to the desert and it's an artist fest. I've never been, so I can't say yay or nay, but it seems to me if that's the only way that you know how to express yourself and show who you are, you need to do some real deep introspective work, Josh. And he compared Burning Man to Jalen's passion of spin class. Now, Jalen actually makes money from spin class, and you can't take away that. That's something she does for income, Josh. So why would you want to? It's so crazy. These are just immature discussions, but immature discussions ruin marriages because communication is off and people's perspectives are off. Meanwhile, Derek and Megan are going cold plunging because that's what Megan likes to do. She likes to torture herself in ice. Now, I've done cryotherapy before, and I lasted in that refrigerator that is cryotherapy for a minute and a half. And you know what? Later on, I realized from doing research that cold plunges, cryotherapy, and all those things, though they've been studied to be good and healing, they're not healing for women. The studies have been done on men. In fact, cold plunges could be bad hormone disruptors for women. So you icy personality having Megan, you might want to consider that if you ever see this video. Cold plunges are not good for women, just so you know.
Message.
They could cause more harm to a woman than if anything. But she was there to torture Derek. That's all she was doing. That's her passion, cold plunges. We keep talking about these really, to me, simpleton passions. Like passions going to a festival, because that's how Josh sees himself through Burning Man. Really, a week-long festival is how you view yourself? That's the only time that you can express yourself? I'm stuck on that. I guess because I have many passions. Like I paint, I like design. It's all art related, but it doesn't necessarily define me, if you will. It's kind of part of my personality. I like comedy. It kind of makes the total me, but I don't expect someone that I'm dating to have that same passion. Like, I like art, but I don't expect you to like art. I mean, if you do, cool, but that doesn't, to me, I respect differences, and we have a bond, something that bonds us together. But these people and these passions, it's confusing me. But hey, that's the show that is Married at First Sight. They put people who are unlikely to stay together and expect them to coexist for 2 months and live happily ever after. But hey, that's what it is. They keep going back and forth because it's so important to Josh to have somebody who joins in his fun, because finally he feels a part. I think it's because his mom didn't raise him. He has very little family. His grandmother raised him, so now he feels a part of something. I feel like he should have probably joined a fraternity. That's what these people do who need to feel a part of things. They join organizations. So I guess Burning Man is Josh's fraternity. So then we get on to the psycho couple, and forgive me if these words are too harsh for you. Rhonda is a lunatic, and her kids said it in so many words in the beginning of the series. They said, "Mom, you are a lot," and she is in fact a lot, because she keeps talking about wanting to be heard, and as soon as Pat says anything to relate to her, to add to the conversation, "You're not listening to me. You don't want to get to know me." Like when they went to that concert, "What did you learn about me? Did you learn anything about me?" So then they go, they go to the gravesite of Rhonda's father, and she's like, "Can you give me a minute? I really need a minute with my dad. I'm trying to get the accent right. It's not right. I really need a minute with my dad." And Pat's like, "Okay, perfect. Let me get up out of here. I don't want to have an awkward conversation with a tombstone."
You are done out here. They go get you.
I really don't. So Rhonda's crying. So then they get back in the car, and Rhonda's saying, "I lost my dad when I was 19 years old." And she continues going on and on. And mind you, she's 63. And then Pat says, "So how long ago was that? You're not listening to me. I mean, see, it's that. You don't want to get to know me." But it's like, you talk so much, Rhonda. Rhonda is constantly talking about Rhonda. Rhonda didn't want to know much about Pat, and I'm sure Pat is beat down by life, because I'm almost guessing he's been in relationships like that. He even says, "I don't even want to, talk to you about things, Rhonda, because I'm going to get this response. You're going to lash out at me. You're scolding me." She's always scolding him because she wants him to know her. Like, dude, asking questions and checking in. Like he says he's constantly being evaluated, what she's doing. She's checking in to see how much he really knows about her. And who does that for real in relationships? That's just like, that's insane. Just be in a relationship. Just feel good with people. Don't have to ask them, do you know me? Do you know everything about me? Do you know my ticks? Do you know my favorite color? Do you know when I graduated from high school and when I fell down the stairs in high school and embarrassed myself? I mean, I don't need to know all those details.
What does that mean, Keith? That means I don't know you.
I just need to know who you are right now. It's all about who you are right now. And I know Rhonda would say, well, it's not about right now. It's about, to know me, you have to know my past. Not necessarily. I need to know who you are right now. I mean, some tidbits here and there are cool, but who are you right now, Rhonda? An overbearing biatch is who you are.
You better watch those B words, baby. You better watch those.
All right. So speaking of people who are disconnected, let's talk about Brittany and Will. Will's not into Brittany. And Brittany is doing everything to ask him why, but not asking him the right questions. And Will is so smug and so void of emotion that really irritates Brittany, because first of all, most men don't emote like women. And I think women need to get that out of their heads. But here's the thing. I think Will is totally turned off by her because of her behavior. And that's not giving him a break, taking the responsibility off of him. I'm just saying what I imagine is going through his mind. I'm turned off by you because you're so freaking insecure and you need constant validation.
My man.
So of course he's not gonna be into that. Would you? Everyone's like, oh, she's pretty. She's pretty. She has a nice face. She's thick. She has cankles. But that's no reason to love somebody. It's the personality. Like Rhonda, it's your personality. And if her personality is constantly seeking validation and do you love me? Do you want me? She's the epitome of a pygmy. I want to be chosen because I think I'm supposed to be married. I have the house. I have the degrees. I have a good job. Now it's time for marriage. That's not the case. Just because you have all those things does not mean you're mature enough for marriage.
Aha! Aha!
And I think that has turned off Will. But they meet up with Pastor Cal and Pia, Dr. Pia. And, Will pulls one over their eyes. Oh, you see, they're talking about, oh, we're good. And then she says, I don't think he really wants to work on this. I don't think he wants to get to know me. And I don't think he wants to get to know her either. I think she's dead on with that. But because Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia want to win, they want a success story, they're going to constantly tell them, hey, look how he pulled you in. Yeah, for now. Then they're going to go, when y'all leave, we're going to go right back to me, Will being smug and ignoring her and being very stone-faced. Like, Will gives nothing. Will gives absolutely nothing. We don't know who Will is. We don't know what his likes and dislikes are. So I can almost feel Brittany's frustration. But if I were Brittany, I just pull back. I pull back and just go on about your business. I mean, that has happened on this show. Just go on about your business because he's not giving you anything. Just because I don't get people who get into the experiment and it's like they go full force ahead like this has to work. No, it doesn't have to work. At the end of the 2 months, you can say, I don't want to be married to him, Brittany, because he doesn't make me feel good, or he hasn't tried to get to know me and there's no true chemistry. Although I think they still are having sex. Like all of them. It's like they don't mind having sex, although we're fighting.
All right, so if we want to keep it business, why are you trying to take me home?
So Derek and Megan met with Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia as well. And they were just talking about intimacy and how they've turned it around. Who cares? Let's get to the main event. Will and Brittany went to Brittany's family's house and they were a country, big, happy family. And I just knew somebody was going to say Hercules, Hercules at some point, but they didn't. So Will was talking to Brittany's mom, and they were sitting there looking at old pictures, and she said she was such a bubbly baby. I am bubbly.
They're lying. Just lying.
Brittany, where, when? You haven't shown anything but a Debbie Downer personality the whole show. But then, so, I enjoy looking at her family, meeting her family. They're great. And it's all women. It was all women there except for, there was a stud there, but she's a woman too. And they kiss, and her cousin said, oh, they kissing. So everybody wants to see them kiss. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it to the episode. I can't wait for the season to be over. I wonder what they're going to do next season. They need to go back to the basics. I thought that I wanted a shorter, accelerated show, but this was too accelerated to the point where I can't keep up. I need these weeks to be spaced out. I really do. Anyhow, drop into the comments and like and subscribe.